Now, you have any last words before you depart into the sunset?
Tell my mom I love her.
Okay. What about you?
No.
You know, you got the right look for this.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's, you know, if I was going to a car show, I'd want to take you just because you look like, you got the right look, you know. You ever thought about being a pinup girl? Not you. Because you could do that too, you know. You could put the thing on, you could lean on the car, we'd get you pictures, and he could stand next to you and look cool. We'd give him a fake cigarette, you know. Okay. Don't be afraid of the gas pedal now. You have to find it. That's my friend, John. He comes to see us every so often. I invited him over to enjoy the hot rod. He's a good egg. It's fun to get videos of the hot rod in motion. It's hard to do that and drive it at the same time. I was talking to Dale. Y'all might remember Dale. He built a rat rod truck, 38 Ford truck, a few years ago. Dale Sanford. But he's kind of into drones, and he said DJI is making a drone that'll follow you around. I was thinking, boy, I need me one of them. I need me one of them. There he comes. Come here. Yeah, you got it. I love seeing somebody drive one of my cars. He's got the right look too. He's got that swoop back young fella hair look. And stop right here. Now from right here, if you kind of bear to the right, there's not much of a road left, but there is a road that goes around that building. So you can circle the building and come back out, and that way you can do like a big figure 8 here.
Yeah.
So do that. I'm gonna sit here with the camera, wind her up a little bit, let me see her go fast.
Okay.
When you come by, I'm gonna be right here.
I noticed that first is pretty touchy. I keep forgetting to shift into second.
What do you mean by that?
Well, first is like, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've driven a stand.
Well, you have to give it a little gas, and I could idle it up a little bit, but I kind of like it lumpy.
Yeah,
If that
no.
makes any sense. So.
It reminds me of my my old Mustang.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna sit over here. You know, you got a little space, like when you come around the building, if you want to gas her, and then you got plenty of room to slow down before you hit anything. So.
Perfect.
I'll
Is there
just-
another turnaround spot past that one?
Well, how far did you go? Cause did you see the gate?
Nope.
Yeah, go down till you see the gate, and it may be open, it may be closed, but you know, on the other side of the gate is the road that we came up a while ago.
Mhm.
So you go all the way down to there, drive around this big wide spot, and then back up through here. That way you get, I don't know if that's a quarter mile or not, 1/8 of a mile, something like that, but you get a little wind up room.
Yeah.
And I'll get some good video, and then I'll share it with you.
Sounds good.
Maybe I should get some, hold, don't move, that picture right there, that look on your face. Do that again, lean over and grab the, yeah, like that. Now look like you're having sex. Oh, it's a good life. Just hurt him down, Chip.
I think we're gonna take this home. That's a ton of fun to drive.
Isn't it?
Is this thing carbureted?
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's why I kept stalling it, because I'm used to kind of throwing the clutch in,
Yeah.
and I think it just kind of cut the fuel.
Right.
This is the first carbureted car I've
Really?
ever driven. Yeah,
Well, there you go. Well,
it's a ton of fun.
it is a ton, ain't it?
Thank you.
You betcha. I know where there's one for sale. Similar.
Need a house first.
Yeah.
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 Once we get a house, we'll have room for toys.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty sweet.
I like the bell too.
Hmm?
It's funny. I didn't even notice that before.
That's called the Gremlin Bell. Another hot rodder gave it to me. It's supposed to ward off evil.
Ah.
Like, you know, if you go somewhere, it's supposed to keep your car from breaking down and such as that. So, it was a gift. It was a real gift, you know.
It's whippy too. I've noticed.
Oh yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, you know,
I'm trying not to tear up the road at all.
and you know, my neighbors are so good. I've had it back here spinning donuts and plowing it all up, and it's like, yeah. If you look around, you'll see all kind of marks where, you know, the kids come back here with motorcycles and four-wheelers, and they do all this stuff. So they're not fussy about it. They're nice.
Do you want any footage of you driving?
Geez, that'd be great. In fact, why don't we go down there and I'll let you get a shot of me doing some donuts.
Yeah, you should do it with Sean in there. She's the only
Okay.
time she's ever had donuts done is with me, and she wasn't a fan.
Hop on the back.
She didn't know what was happening either, so to be fair, it's not like I told her, hey, we're gonna do donuts.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, oh, empty parking lot?
I used to get in trouble with my Mustang for disappearing at night. They'd find me ripping donuts in the parking lot in the rain. That way I got to save my tires. My dad would call me at 1 in the morning and he'd be like, what are you doing? Driving. Where? Anywhere.
You see that the temperature's like not even up to 180 or anything, and oil pressure's good. Everything's holding up good. We're gonna do donuts right here, and you might want to put your seatbelt on for this part. He's running. You find a place that you feel safe while I'm driving recklessly.
I'll probably move around a little bit. You feel comfortable doing one around me? Yeah, I do. Have you ever seen the Gymkhana Files?
No, that's what I know of.
Do you have Amazon?
Yeah.
There's a guy named Ken Block. He used to own DC Shoes, and he sold it. And he sold it for like $100 million. He got half.
Yeah.
And so he decided he wanted to be a race car driver.
Yeah.
And so he started doing like these videos called the Gymkhana, or no, what are they called? Gymkhana videos.
Yeah.
And he's sponsored by Subaru and now Ford.
Yeah.
His current car is a 65 Mustang that they converted to all-wheel drive and a turbo diesel that runs off methanol.
Yeah.
And he does some crazy stunts.
Yeah.
But one of his trademark moves is doing donuts around somebody,
Yeah.
usually on like a Segway.
Yeah.
And so I figured, we'll get you the similar shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did like for Gymkhana 10, they followed him around. He did like 5 different locations all over the world, shot in a bunch of different cars, and they made a TV series out of it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Awesome.
You want this back?
Yeah, sure. I suppose.
It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
I did honk your horn, of course.
Oh yeah.
You kinda had to.
You know you have to. You have to. Yeah.
Hey, come here. Well, it's kind of hard to get out. When we get back, you got to appreciate the craftsmanship of this thing.
Oh.
Like the back panels are made out of license plates.
We'll look over it when I get back up there. We'll do a walk around.
Yeah, you can probably show you more than I can. Oh. Thank you, my friend. That was
Yeah.
that was wicked cool.
I'm gonna drive gentle. I don't want to throw you off.
Remember, I got your GoPro.
You gotta face it at something now. You're making videos. Hey, cameraman.
Oh,
All right, yeah.
is it on?
Oh, yeah. You think you do that again?
Yeah, see, I kept stalling her at low speeds.
Yeah.
That was my issue.
I could twist it up to idle a little faster, but I kind of like the sound of that low kind of bumpity.
I do too. Well, for me too, is it's a new car, so I just had to learn it.
jumpy. Probably this carburetor cleaned out.
How often do you have to clean a car?
Depends on how it's running. This one here, actually this car sat on the shelf for many years, so I should have cleaned it out already, but I haven't. That's part of that. It would idle better if I went through and they get dirt on them, especially with this gas, you know, we're gonna have not dirt.
Yeah. Would this run more cleanly on something that didn't have ethanol in it?
Yeah, oh yeah, much better. Well, when this motor was made, it was made to run on leaded gas too, and with a lot higher octane. Gas used to have a lot more octane.
That I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
Which neighbor is it that owns that one right there?
He's an awful nice guy. I've always had the very best neighbors here, and he broke his back a few years ago.
Oh, jeez.
It didn't stop him, but he's
sorry.
a lot of inclination
Sorry.
now. And there's some things he can't do like he used to, so I try to cut his grass for him, you know, and do a few things that I can do along the way.
So I meant to ask you too. I noticed that you have like a cap at the end of this.
Yep.
Is that just to kind of seal it off?
Well, if I wanted a drag race, I could open pipes up, and we can run it on open pipes.
Does that give it more horsepower?
Yeah. Yeah.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of that is if you want to run open pipes, you can run it on the street, drive it down to the drag strip, and then pop them off and blow flames down the side of it while you're going down a quarter mile or whatever.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And a lot of times you'll see guys be driving these around the door, have all paint burn off because they've been drag racing. You know, we have a wicked good drag racing group here. I say wicked good. Let me get it right because it's the gasser guys that are drag racers, and the wicked good guys are the circle track racers. But they had a big event here the other day and they canceled it because of COVID, and it turned out they did have it, but it was kind of like nope, it wasn't planned. Everybody just showed up, and I missed it. But I really wanted to take this up there and run it down a quarter mile, just because I wanted to burn some paint off my doors and you know just have some fun. Really open her up in some place where I don't have to worry about other traffic and see how she'd go. So
I bet she'd go like a bat out of hell. It's an awesome little rig.
Yeah. So you was talking about stuff. If you look at my gas pedal, you'll see that my clutch pedal is made out of wrenches, out of a wrench, and my gas pedal is made out of an old Volkswagen hubcap, and of course the shifter is made out of a Chevy 283 piston and rod. Up in here,
It's so cool.
the wrenches here and here, and they're around in different places. Got piston rods for engine mounts here, and Ristons, wrenches on the throttle here, things like that. Pretty much anything I can think of to do to make out of something that ain't meant to be there. That's what I try to do.
I like the body panel made out of license plates.
Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that.
More from the YouTubers, or just from?
Those aren't. Some of them are. That James Dean one in there came from a YouTuber, and there's one for the Wisconsin State Patrol that came. I think Chevaholic is Matt Phelan, and he sent me. That's his sticker down there. This is Mr. Heavy Chevy. He's another YouTuber that's into old cars. And that plate right there was my dad's. It was on his car. There's one up under there that says Fran. That's my neighbor's wife plate that she gave me to put on there. So yeah, a lot of them are from different people. People have given me stuff. That tachometer was. There's a guy down in Tennessee I know that owns a 49 Ford that was used in the original Robert Mitchum Thunder Road movie, and he sent me that tachometer, and I put it in there.
That's really cool.
And that mirror was from a guy in California named Angel, and it came off a 59 Chevy truck. So yeah, there's a lot of pieces of stuff that people have given me.
I noticed it doesn't get too hot either, like the engine bay, like as you're driving.
Yeah.
My old Jeep did.
Yeah.
But I noticed that this one doesn't at all.
Well, you're in a closed, insulated box with the engine in front of you, and of course, if there's any engine heat that can come back in there, it's just in there with you.
Oh yeah.
So any heat that you get in this is going to blow right out of it. So it's not an issue.
This thing's so cool.
It is.
Y'all need one. I can just feel it in my, you know.
Oh, we're definitely gonna get one. I think taking her in it is definitely
Yeah.
one.
Us old guys ain't gonna be around forever, so it's gonna be up to you young bucks to come up with what's next, you know.
Well, I tell you what, man, we've been watching a lot of car stuff lately.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause we're stuck in the house all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told John, I was like, if we do something like that, I mean, I don't have any knowledge of that.
That's
like,
cool.
Right.
I'd want to be involved. I wouldn't want to just be like, okay, what are you doing?
You should go online, and these people right here, the Heavy Chevys. Who the heck is Mr. Heavy Chevy? Just look up Mr. Heavy Chevy. Him and his wife and his kids, his whole family, spend every weekend in the garage.
Wow.
And he's taught his daughter, before she was old enough to have a license, he taught her to rebuild an engine like this. And he'll have his son out there. He'll be doing a brake job for his dad, and he's like about this big now. And they've been doing it for 10 years. And his wife takes leftover parts and makes them into sculpture and stuff and sells them online. But their family life, you know, they go to church on Sunday, but you'll find all of them in the garage on the weekend, making videos and working on stuff. And they put up a video every weekend, you know, of what they did, and Saturday and Sunday. And you know, you're talking about want to learn how to do stuff. There's places like that where not only can you learn, but it's not like, you know, hard learning, like just fits that and bolt that. It's like, man, these guys are having a relationship. They love each other. They love their family. They're laughing. They're joking. They're doing serious. They're making little jokes that you wouldn't even recognize, except you kind of get it after a while. And at the same time, you're learning stuff by watching them do stuff, you know.
So like, you've been watching a whole bunch of like car videos like that, where they're like a tight-knit family that are working together on things, or recreating and like talking about the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
We're also watching things about history.
Yeah.
It's like these individual cultures is really what it is.
It's a good picture right there. Just keep doing what you're doing. Let me take that picture right there. Both of you. And don't move now, because you look gorgeous. I've got a buddy down in South Georgia, and he doesn't watch TV, and he doesn't have any TV connection. The only thing he watches is YouTube. He gets his whole world view from YouTube. And he said the world is not the big messed up place that everybody's telling you it is. If you watch YouTube, you see real people in real places, and they can be in Belarus or Czechoslovakia or Poland or Chile or any place, and you're going to see regular people just like yourself doing whatever they enjoy doing, having a good life. And it isn't a drama, it isn't a constant riot, it isn't a constant war, it isn't political upheaval like we are presented from these countries. It's regular people like me and you doing regular stuff like me and you.
There's a YouTuber I follow that traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
And it was the same idea.
There's a young lady who rides a motorcycle called Itchy Boots. She's been all over the world on a motorcycle. And she makes her own videos, puts them up herself, and she goes to places that are dangerous and you think nobody would go there, and she just, you know, gets on her bike and goes there. And
People say that about Israel. And like, I
Yeah.
know people that go over there, and and like they didn't even see where we're like the war
Right,
or anything
right.
that we
Yeah.
talk about.
Anywhere you go in, you know, if you think about it, their view of America is that we're all over here shooting each other down in the street and the police are beating the black people to death and all that. Well, you know, in reality, we all get along and that stuff happens once in a while, but it's like of course, the media and the news and the social network and all, they're all pointing their camera. They're just looking for something like that to happen so they can point their camera at it. But in reality, life's pretty good for most people, no matter where you are. And people live good lives. And,
Is your throttle cable made with a wrench?
mhm,
Couple wrenches? Is that what that is?
mhm. It's not a cable either.
No.
It's hooked directly to that pedal you put your foot on under there.
Look how cool that is.
See, let me show you how high-tech and complicated all this is. This used to be a vent.
Bracing? Or for air?
Yeah, you'd flip it up. I can show you on that car because it still has the mechanism intact. But it used to be a thing you could flip it up and air would get sucked down in there. This was a 47 Ford truck.
No kidding.
But see, here's the end of that thing, and it's hooked to this thing, and that's the pedal. And it does like that.
Huh. That's
All your wiring and everything is right here, you know, and just fuses and switches and things, you know. It's wicked complicated.
I love the simplicity.
So high tech.
I asked him when we were out for a ride, I was like, what's this do? And he goes,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I love the simplicity and the ingenuity. You know, I love
The
that.
creativity.
It's like, it's yours.
Oh yeah. Well, it's made for me, by me, for me, and it fits me. And every so often I get a big fella over here, and I have a hard time fitting him in under the steering wheel. But I can take the seat out and put him in there. He just loses. When I take the seat out, you lose all the spring mechanism, and then it's.
A little rougher.
I've had my son in there. He's a pretty big feller, so I can get somebody in there. But as it is made, it just fits me and Honey Babe, and that's all it needs to do.
Yeah.
And that's who's going to be in there most of the time.
Yeah, I noticed that's a big steering wheel. It's intimidatingly large.
Well, see, back in the day when there wasn't any power steering, that was your power steering.
Oh, yeah.
You had a big wheel, and you know to turn.
Does this have power steering?
No, heck no.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it steers like it does.
You got a big wheel. If you ever drove a Mack truck's about half as big as you are. You turn. It's like you can't reach the other side. You're sitting here, and it's a big thing. And you know, that was back pre power steering in the Mack truck is what I'm saying. But yeah, that's what power steering was in the old days. The bigger the steering wheel, the more leverage you can get on it, the easier it is to turn. That's a 57 Ford steering box, and that's a, I don't know, 50-something Buick steering shaft, and all kind of stuff like that.
Did you have somebody paint the Chelsea number one?
That was originally on there. This was a fire truck at one time, and the guy I bought it from told me he built it out of he cut the cab down from an old fire truck, and when I sanded the door, I found that underneath there. And I got a friend over here who's an artist, and I asked him if he could come over and repaint the lettering on it, and so he came and repainted the old lettering on there. Yeah. I wouldn't have chosen that for a name for it, but it was on there. I mean, it literally was a fire truck for a town named Chelsea, and I thought, well, it'd be awful to take it off of there. It needs to stay, so I just had him letter it up again, and we went with
So
it.
you built the whole back end here?
Well, the car was made sorta. It was on frame, and the metal body part was sort of built. This, you know, and didn't have the trunk lid on it and all. Didn't have any floor in it. But I mean, it was kind of a car-shaped body, sitting on a 33 box frame, and he had basically made it out of just leftover parts that he had sitting around or stuff he drug out of the woods, and I messed around with it, and I had an old Cadillac motor in it. I drove that for a goodly number of years until I had trouble with that. It was an expensive motor, and their parts were so expensive, and it was wore out, and I was afraid to tear into it, afraid of what I'd find. So
Yeah, I remember the Cadillac motor.
I sold it to a guy in New York who paid me enough money for it to pay for building this one and have a little left over. So a buddy of mine who died, who lived over here, gave me the transmission. That's 5-speed in the regular T5. It's got a 57 Ford 9-inch rear end in it. It's got a really high gear, but the T5 has a really low first gear and plus the overdrive. So, you know, I can go down the road running speed limit and only turning about 2,000 RPM. So, and no problem burning tires on it or anything like that. So I don't really need low gear, much of a low gear. So.
I want to see you take the cabs off and throw flames. That's really cool.
Oh,
That's really cool.
If you want to pull them off, I'll get you a wrench. You can pull them off. We'll make it loud.
You want some video of you throwing some flames?
It sounds like you do. Let me go get a wrench. Well, I'll go put a fresh battery in this while you're doing that. He's not screaming, so it must not be too hot.
It's not too bad. Did you have to build your own exhaust too?
Nope.
That's cool.
That's pretty, you know, stuff like that is a lot less expensive than it used to be. Probably made in China or something, but that other one might not come off so easy because it's bent almost into the body, so might not be able to get it off.
You want to leave it on? We just leave it on.
Well, let's try it with one side and see what we think.
All right.
You want to mash the gas and race it?
I'll let you do that.
Means you have to run the camera.
That's okay. I kind of want to see it.
You got to point the camera across.
Oh, Jesus.
Should I keep going? I mean, why don't you run the camera? You're probably better at it than me. You know,
He does have an eye.
I am blonde.
You're blonde.
No flames, but she's loud. That's kind of cool.
That is so cool. And watching it,
I'd run it like that down the road. I gotta be honest.
You'd probably see the flames if it was dark.
Well, yeah, of course.
Now you get to put them back on.
That's... Did you grab the bolts?
I did.
Okay.
Don't you go ahead.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure where they went. That's cool though.
Hey. This is gonna be your your new Facebook picture right here. Smile. Yeah.
I love doing stuff like this. I used to work on a lot of stuff.
do you turn off by hitting
when I
that?
was a kid.
Let's leave it running. It's easier to throw away video you don't want than it is to get it after you didn't film it.
That's
So
true.
I just
That
leave
is
it running.
very true.
Well, it's like with me and my pictures, I take so many of them, but people only see a few.
Right. Seems like the more stuff you throw away, the better your video comes out. But so I hear a noise that sounds like a UFO. and I heard it yesterday too, and I'm hearing it now. Do you hear it?
I hear that.
You do hear it.
It's like a.
You know, I also hear crickets, but that's normal because I've got that thing in my head, that hearing weird thing. But I've been hearing this UFO noise, and I thought, because it sounds like a radiator when a car is overheating, and this one is not overheating. But so I'm saying, what is that? I still don't know what it is. Maybe a UFO getting, you know, they might be coming back for me. I don't know.
How tight do you want these?
Huh? Good and snug.
Okay.
Don't break them, but you know, give them a little bit more.
It does sound like a UFO.
Yeah.
It might be a radio tower.
Do they make a noise?
I don't know.
I never heard it before.
It's
Yesterday.
like a hum almost.
Well,
as well.
maybe not radio tower. Maybe that's the wrong word. Cell phone tower. I've been
Uh-huh.
noticing a lot of them going up lately. A lot of big ones.
That
It
thing
reminds me
stick.
of our AC after we turn it off.
Yeah.
Wish you lived closer, man. If you lived closer, I'd help you probably every day after work.
Yeah. We keep something stirred up.
I used to do stuff, mostly it was like junk cars and like, working on the skidder and stuff, but